desire to see the world, to meet other cultures, to see new places, or perhaps just break out of the monotony of your everyday. These are some reasons we travel. And one startup is aiming to revolutionize the online market for travel and empower the traveler. Choose your budget, choose your destination, choose your itinerary in real time. This is GoFro. But let's be honest, the travel space is overcrowded and clear leaders have emerged. So does GoFro have what it takes to satisfy this world's healthy sense of wanderlust? Let's find out.
ये business idea नहीं चलेगा, हम चला के दिखाएंगे. I want to help people explore the world, to see places, to meet people, to experience cultures, and generally become wise. I just do my job and leave the rest to God. I'm a big believer in Gita, and therefore I'm not too fearful about any outcome that I may have. Take risk, be bold, and persevere.
While traveling, book a seat at the back of the plane to increase your chances of getting empty seats.
To save on mobile data charges, download offline Google Maps before you travel to your destination.
If a neighbor won't stop talking, pretend to sleep.
Hola, ni hao, savadi khao. Learn to say hello in local languages. You'll be surprised by how much help you can get from total strangers. We are GoFro, your travel experts.
Yes, you heard him. Meet the man behind the startup which is claiming to be the only travel partner you will ever need. This is Amitabh Mishra, the founder of a platform claiming to be a revolutionary travel marketplace, GoFro. This venture may sound a lot like other travel startups we know, but GoFro aims to transform the way Indians travel by offering them a whole host of options at competitive prices. And there's more. Amitabh has plenty of expertise. After all, he was the Chief Technology Officer at India's leading billion-dollar venture, Snapdeal. He happens to be an avid traveler and thinks his venture is using technology to empower customers. But is GoFro ready to impress us?
What we have on GoFro is every travel services that you may need when you're planning for an international holiday. So we have hotels, we have local transport, we have flights, and we have things that you would want to do in the destination.
To plan a holiday using GoFro, log on to the website. On the GoFro platform, you can choose an itinerary and personalize it or tweak it according to your taste. GoFro has a special live chat feature for answering all customer queries, even during a holiday. The USP here that differentiates it from other travel portals is real-time customization and assistance. Anytime, anywhere. Now, competition in this space is fierce, and this space is dominated by travel giant Make My Trip. Well, GoFro happens to have the backing of this giant. So does this space have room for GoFro to dominate?
This market itself has huge potential. It is growing at breakneck speed. It is very fragmented, therefore a lot of opportunity for online players to come and organize the market, and it's profitable. So everything is really suitable for a company like GoFro to succeed.
The GoFro team comprises in-house experts on technology, product and travel. And GoFro also comes with a companion app to provide the customer with in-destination help during a holiday. But many other travel portals boast of these. So what makes GoFro any different?
Number one, we have a stellar team. One of the strongest in India, both in technology and business, with deep expertise in consumer internet and technology space in India. Number two is that our fundamentals of our business is strong. Like I said, we are profitable from day one, but also that this industry is very fragmented and inefficient. Therefore, huge opportunity to create disruption through technology. Finally, we have a stellar product, a globally unique product that has unlimited potential.
Well, GoFro has the backing of a giant like Make My Trip and seems to have all the fundamentals in place to grab a huge chunk off the travel pie. So while the founder has given us a sneak peek into his vision, let's round up our focal questions. GoFro aims to revolutionize the online travel space. How will it go about achieving this? GoFro competes with giants like TripAdvisors and offline travel agents. What gives it a competitive edge? Does GoFro have what it takes to survive the ongoing turmoil among Indian startups?
GoFro aims to revolutionize the way we travel. How do you aim to do that?
We have a very, very unique product. A couple of things. We have a very intuitive one-page app to personalize your holiday plan. Then we have live online assistance. So travel experts sitting maybe 1,000 miles from you who are an expert in the destination that you're interested in, you could chat with them. They can co-create the itinerary with you online. So you having to never travel and meet them in person. You're sitting across the screen and both of you are working on the same plan at the same time.
Obviously, you face stiff competition from companies like TripAdvisor and even travel agents. How do you plan to beat them?
So travel agents, offline travel agents are free to list their products on our platform. We just become an extra channel for them to sell their wares. So in that sense, there is not necessarily any company which is a direct competitor, as such. Even Make My Trip can come and list products on our site. We just become an additional channel for their sales.
How does GoFro plan to protect against the turmoil that's happening in the startup world?
I think we don't look at the turmoil. We are very confident of what we are doing. And we know that it's a profitable business. We know that what kind of impact technology can have to make it better and to create the disruption in the world of how leisure travel is done in the country. So I think we are just focused on what we are doing and we are very positive about the prospects of what we are doing.
It was great to meet GoFro today. It seems like a great startup and I'm excited to see what's next for them. One thing that I wonder is that with Make My Trip such a big funder, how their technology is not just going to get folded into that platform. The other thing is that Google Travel looks a lot like GoFro and I wonder if they'll have some recognition issues in the future. That's what I think. Let's see what the mentors have to say about this.
Meet Abhinav Mathur, the former Chief of Strategy and Technology at Spice Global and current Chairman of Founders Catalyst. He's known to be outspoken and doesn't mince his words when it comes to passing his verdict on new startups. Our second mentor is Ritu Maurya, the Editor-in-Chief of Entrepreneur Media and Franchise India Media, who leads the editorial desk which comprises a whole host of magazines popular in startup circles. With a career spanning 12 years in business journalism, Ritu has come to be regarded as an authority on startups and entrepreneurship, retail and consumer businesses.
GoFro is a travel marketplace, which is a little different than I would say the rest of these, but I'm still very skeptical at this stage about GoFro. The early days though, as there's a huge competition that is there for GoFro to begin with. There are online travel bookings, there's reverse bidding that is happening, then there is offline travel agents. So it's already a hugely crowded marketplace.
They should focus on technology, trying to see how they can employ technology to create a better and a greater experience for the consumer, and try to ensure that they create maybe an automated kind of bot or something like that, so that a lot of questions get answered through a database rather than each resulting in a communication with an expert, so that the experience of the consumer is still very, very good.
I've got some great news for you young, ambitious, soon-to-be startup founders. Yeah, I'm talking to you with the next big idea and a plan to pitch to investors. According to a new report, India is the third largest ecosystem globally for technology-driven startups, after the US and the UK, of course. But there's a lot more to creating a thriving ecosystem than what meets the eye. So, in the State of the Startup this week, let's find out how India stacks up against the world.
The third largest hub for technology-driven startups in the world is now India. And according to a new study conducted by ASSOCHAM in association with Thought Arbitrage Research Institute, Bengaluru is host to the largest share of technology startups in the country, followed by Delhi NCR and Mumbai, while Hyderabad and Chennai are also quite popular among budding tech entrepreneurs. But while big e-commerce ventures, cab aggregators and food delivery startups are currently hogging the limelight in India, scalability remains the biggest missing piece of the Indian startup puzzle. Yet, most believe that India will soon list itself along US and China as a true startup nation. Let's get some perspective. How does India's startup ecosystem stack up against the world?
I mean, India, of course, everyone's looking at it as the third biggest startup ecosystem in terms of number of startups. But luckily, what has changed is this year we have the Prime Minister unveiling the Startup Action Plan. So that actually made the bureaucrats and the regulators know that there is something known as a startup, right?
The government, which till recently was not very focused on this, is now very focused on this. So look at the ingredients coming together. It's a growing economy. It has grown very well over the last decade and a half. So what that does is it creates a lot more opportunity, a lot more jobs, a much bigger consumer class. That means I can create a company today and scale based on the Indian market.
Virtual reality. Many say this is the next big thing in the world of technology and will lead the next wave of innovation among startups. Today on Unicorn, we want to unveil a camera that improves not only the creation, but the sharing of 360-degree panoramas and virtual reality content. This is Orbit 360.
The struggle behind taking a panoramic shot on your phone is something most of us are more than familiar with. But this device from IM Cardboard is a game changer. This is the Orbit 360, and using Bluetooth, it enables you to take spherical panoramas in 3D. This project was an instant hit on Kickstarter and has garnered more than 900 backers on the site. The Orbit 360 comes at a price of around $80, which is around 5,400 rupees. IM Cardboard has also two other fully functional virtual reality devices, the Flip 360, a smartphone case with a built-in VR headset, and the Pocket 360, a compact virtual reality headset.
An online marketplace for industrial goods. Now, we've heard that before. But this business-to-business startup is a favorite among startups and investors alike. Let's meet the face behind Moglix, an online marketplace of industrial goods from lighting fixtures to fasteners for businesses both large and small. It's a niche startup, but if Moglix reaches the scale and scope, it could be a startup to reckon with. Let's put it to the test.
Alternate to hard work is yet to be found. Solving large problems which create positive impact is my passion. Changing the 50-year-old mindset of chalta hai jugaad in the manufacturing industry, that is our challenge. Moglix can transform the supply chain of manufacturing sector, which is 17% of country's GDP today.
Bringing with him more than 15 years of experience across the competitive technology industry is the CEO and founder of Moglix, Rahul Garg. He has an impressive resume and was formerly the head of advertising exchange for Asia at Google based in Singapore. So we're hoping for a strong revenue model and some great strategy from Rahul and his startup Moglix. His startup operates in a very niche space, and before we attempt to decode his future plans, let's find out what Moglix is all about.
Moglix is a B2B commerce company which works with the manufacturing companies across the country. We work with all of these manufacturing companies on bringing a one-stop buying solution for all their needs for running the manufacturing plant.
So you heard it from the founder. Moglix is a leading B2B commerce company which leverages the power of technology in the field of industrial and business procurement. Since its inception in 2015, Moglix has sought and found the backing of top-tier venture capitalists. And one of them happens to be a visionary and industry veteran, Ratan Tata. Moglix aims to offer a tech-based procurement solution to manufacturing industries and provides an e-commerce platform to scores of small and medium business buyers of industrial goods across the country. While it may sound very technical and niche, Moglix has acquired more than 10,000 business customers with 50% revenue coming from big organizations with more than 100 crore turnover. But all this information may go over our heads. We want to know, how does this niche startup make money?
So we charge on a percentage of transaction basis. Every transaction that flows through Moglix, we make a percentage charge. Now that varies by category, that varies by the quantity that the buyer is buying, and sometimes also varies by the logistics or the timing that is required to fulfill that particular order. We make money. We are always, for a business buyer, a contribution margin positive company. So, and that is how we have continuously preserved healthy economics within the organization.
Well, now that we know that Moglix has a rock-solid revenue model, we decided to pay a visit to the Moglix warehouse to see how industrial orders are packaged and delivered. Moglix currently specializes in B2B procurement of industrial products such as safety tools, fasteners, electrical and lighting equipment, and much more. The venture is leveraging the new age world of online convenience and bringing in supply chain efficiencies in business purchasing. And Rahul believes technology is disrupting the B2B commerce space.
Whether it is Make in India, whether it is Digital India, whether it is GST, all of these forces are coming together to disrupt B2B commerce for the first time in last 65 years. Moglix is at the heart of this disruption and is putting a lot of technology and infrastructure components to solve for this problem. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, even if we are enabling 10% of these transactions to start coming online and using digital mechanism.
Well, Rahul here sounds pretty confident that his startup is invincible and will be untouched by changing market dynamics. While we admire the confidence and the passion, we have our questions ready. Moglix aims to use technology in industrial procurement. How will it go about achieving the same? Moglix is backed by a big name like Ratan Tata. How has having the visionary on board helped this startup? Will the B2B space give Moglix room to grow and become a business to reckon with?
Moglix says that it will streamline industrial procurement through technology. How do you plan to do that?
So what we realized when we started this venture was that B2B commerce, and particularly for the manufacturing companies, they faced continuous challenges because they are working with fragmented suppliers. That means that they were working with thousands and thousands of suppliers to source products for running their manufacturing operations, which was quite a cumbersome and tedious task. So we built a technology platform as well as partnered with now 600 plus suppliers on our platform to enable these buyers to buy from all of these suppliers using technology.
Do you think that the B2B space will allow a startup like Moglix the room to grow and become a startup to reckon with?
B2B space, firstly, in India is very, very large. If you look at manufacturing sector, it constitutes of $300 billion worth of space, which is almost 17% of the country's GDP, right? So in terms of the opportunity that is ahead for Moglix, we are currently at zero within this $300 billion space from digitizing the buying processes and the supply chain for many of these manufacturers. So the headroom is all the way up to $300 billion. And as the country economy grows and the manufacturing sector gets even stronger, the opportunity will continue to grow.
One of your investors is Ratan Tata. What is it like to have such a big visionary as one of your major investors?
So I think it is an awesome thing to happen to Moglix, to have a person of his stature to come and believe in what we are doing. I think he's also a figure of bringing technology and manufacturing in one single line. So we are extremely delighted to have him on board. In a couple of conversations that we have had so far, there is lots and lots of things that we can continue to learn from him.
Moglix might not have the most glamorous of mission statements, but I think that it's doing really well, and one reason is the way that it ties manufacturers to businesses so seamlessly. The only thing that surprised me is for a market that seems so niche, there sure seems to be a lot of competition. That's what I thought. Let's hear what the mentors have to say about this.
The interface that Moglix has is quite simple and quite user-friendly, which I liked. I like the fact that the kind of entrepreneur who is pursuing this opportunity, he has a significant experience in the past and so on and so forth. And the kind of investors who have invested into Moglix are also really cream de la cream. Mr. Ratan Tata himself has invested, Excel Partners has invested, Jungle Partners has invested. So it's a very nice play and they have the right set of people on their side.
My advice to them would be that they need to be creating leadership in certain categories, particularly in categories where their margins are high, where their Volumes might be low, but their margins are high. They would also need to look at some international tie-ups in the coming time where they are able to source such products from, let's say, Europe or the US markets, which are needed by Indians but not so well known.
A travel startup backed by a travel giant, GoFro aims to be your one-stop destination for all your travel desires. And Moglix demands attention in the B2B space as it attempts to disrupt the industrial goods marketplace. But will it succeed? And if you think you have what it takes in the startup big league, then write to us at unicorn@ndtv.com or tweet us at prime_unicorn.